Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not sure where you're tuning in from, but it is important to say good morning. How are you today? How are you? I don't know if you're coming in from YouTube or if you're coming in from Facebook, but let me know when you come in here where you are tuning in, where you are coming in at. Let me know if you're coming in from Facebook or YouTube or iHeart or Spotify or TuneIn. Just let me know where you're coming in at. I see some Facebook posts coming up, so I think you all are in Facebook. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you, Laura. You said Facebook. Wow, what a day on yesterday. And it's still unfolding. It is still unfolding. So I see there's more of you in here than what's in the chat. So just let me know where you're tuning in from. Sometimes it comes up with the symbol. So I'm seeing some of you coming in from those different platforms. So I'm just glad to see you coming up in here. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, y'all, and I have a lot of news. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, just in case this ever happens again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. My YouTube is youtube.com/Gail Dudley. All one word, Gail Dudley. So if this ever happens again on any platform, know that we stream live on all what they call the podcast platform. So on Facebook, on YouTube, this can even stream to Instagram, to LinkedIn, and I have not set that up yet, but this can go to LinkedIn. And then, of course, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all those different platforms. So know where you can find me if this is something you want to tune into every day. You see, Nawana said, yes, me and TikTok were friends trying to see what I could learn new yesterday. There's that. That oil spill necklace is fire. This and y'all know that that we have a partnership with Luxurious Life, which is luxuriouslife.com that's Latrice Jones. So you can check and see if she still has any of those. And then there are other paparazzi people on here as well. Good morning, Pastor Antoinette. Good morning. Yeah, so as I'm slowly letting people come in to see what you're doing, we can just chit chat just for a minute. But here's our sponsor, luxuriouslife.com. That's Latrice Jones. She is the consultant. So yeah, so that's what's happening. If I look like I am sleepy as I don't know what, believe me, I am, because the news was still unfolding about Facebook up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So that is still happening. So we may be stable today. We may not be stable today on this platform, but we will see. I see people are coming in and going out like crazy already. So just check your connection. And again, you can always find me on YouTube if you want to tune in to see the visual. It is also on YouTube. I see y'all coming in here. So good morning to all of you. So it looks like it's still spotty in some places. It went back down again around 2 o'clock, 2:30 this morning, just briefly, and then it came back on. So there's obviously something that's going on. So let me get into the news, y'all. Today is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021, and it's time for today's headlines. I see y'all coming in here. Yep, Kimberly Graves says she couldn't find us. They are still having problems. So y'all remember, you can also find us on YouTube. If you want the visual, you can find us on YouTube. And that is youtube.com/Gail Dudley. So there's some of you who may not be able to find us either. So again, today is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021, and it's time for today's headlines on News in Motion. Y'all know who I am. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and I'm just so grateful that you decided to come hang out with me this morning when you have so many options that you can turn to. But I know y'all just want the news. Y'all know I'm going to give it to you the way I need to give it to you. Pastor Antoinette said yesterday she had an interesting, listen, I had a crazy day, let me tell you. So let's go ahead and get this party started. And y'all listen, I am doing all the controls and everything by myself. Good morning, Philip Bridges. I'm doing the controls and everything by myself because My entire team, and I'm going to talk about them in a little bit, they all are into digital marketing and social media. So when things happened yesterday, guess what? They couldn't do some of their work. So they all was like called in to work earlier today. So if I mess up with the marks and all that stuff, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to do my best to keep it flowing this morning. They said I got this. I guess I got it. But let's see how it goes. So let's just go ahead and start this morning's with the intro. Yeah, I got to play that on my own. I see y'all still coming up in here. You saying I got this. I hope I have this. Yeah, y'all. Yesterday. So let's just go with the top headlines. We got to go there first. Let me give you the rundown. Let me share with you what we know. What we know. And again, this story is still unfolding. Facebook is saying that they had a faulty configuration change. Okay. All right. They didn't know. I don't know. So they had a faulty configuration change. That's the line they're sticking with at this hour. That's the line. Some are saying that happened at 11:39 a.m. Eastern. Others are saying it happened at 11:41 a.m. Eastern. But all we know is that it went dark. It went dark in the internet world. And this is the thing that people were so afraid of what was going to happen in year 2000. It happened on yesterday. All right, now let me tell you where all of my news sources are coming from. It's coming from The Verge. It's coming from CNBC. That's my go-to when it's things like this. It's coming from New York Times, Wired, Associated Press, I know I call it AP, and CNN. That's the bulk of, also Insider Business and Bloomberg. Those are the bulk of the places where I was getting in the news feed. We received... This is so crazy. We received 432 pieces of news alert. So we were shuffling them through and see what was happening. To let you know where I was when all this was going down, I was actually going to show someone a quote in Facebook. And I was like, I can't get on Facebook. And so the person was like, I can. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in Facebook jail. Why? And then come to find out the whole world was in jail, but we were all in the blackout. We were all in the dark. So it was about 11:41 a.m. And again, this is what we know so far. There are more than 2.89 billion users on the Facebook platform. The stock started to go down and it hit, and I think we have a picture of this. I think they did it for me last night. Yep, we do. It hit about 4.9%. That's how far it went down. So it lets you see that it was going spiraling down. It was crashing pretty much. And then Mark Zuckerberg it's been said that he has lost more than $7 billion. That's with the B dollars. So that's how it all started. When I went from my app thinking I must have an app problem to the internet, this is what we found across the internet. We're having trouble finding the site, which really concerned people based upon the wire, because you normally still have something that's just like scrolling, but they had a complete shutout. You couldn't get much of anything from there. And then this is so important for all of you. The algorithms return to the original. You should do everything you can to capitalize on the algorithm being the original right now. We don't believe they'll stay there. At least that's what my digital people are saying. But right now, if you're going through your news feed, like, well, hey, how are you? What's going on? Where'd you come from? That's because the algorithm went back to the original algorithm. That's what happened. And so everyone's talking about the algorithm went back to the regular algorithm, to the original algorithm. So here's an opportunity for you to really capitalize on that. So I was sending out invitations to come check it out on News in Motion. I was making contact with other people with other things. Here was your opportunity. And I don't know how long it's going to stay that way. But if you're going through the newsfeed and you're like, I don't know this person, where they come from? Oh, there you are. It's because the algorithm went back to the original. All right. Now here's what's really concerning. Again, I gave y'all every place that I get my information from. I named them all when I was going through this. So there's like 9 of them. So I won't repeat it, but if you want to get that information, you can go back to the beginning after the broadcast and get where I'm getting my information from. Facebook is used to sign into many apps, and smart TVs and thermostats and so much more. Now, you should change that today. And I don't know what it is, but when I go to sign up for something, they say, do you want to use your Facebook ID? I have never done that. I've always used my email. Hey, remember email? Everybody need to go back to understanding email, because this is when things like this happen, you need to still have access, because if you're always inbox messaging people, and I tell people, don't depend on me to check my inbox, my Facebook messaging. You better text me, you better send me an email, you better call me, because I don't go on Messenger that much. I don't. And so for me, it was like I still miss some people, but as I was thinking and talking with my daughter and some of the other team members, they said start sending out text messages, go on Patreon, and I had someone else do that. Go on Patreon, let people know, hey, don't forget I'm on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. But y'all, listen, when I download an app, I do not use Facebook as my app information. I use my email. But there were people who have apps. When it shut down, you lost that app capability. People were saying they couldn't do anything with their thermostat. They couldn't do anything with their smart TVs, because it's all connected to Facebook. That's a lot of power. If y'all want to look at it this way, that's a lot of power. So again, y'all should change that today. Now, they're a part of Linchpin Platform, which is messaging, live streaming, and virtual reality, and tons of other digital services. Which means if you're only going through Facebook and that was your business too, you're in trouble. My go-to is Twitter. I told y'all better stop sleeping on Twitter. I keep telling y'all that. And on Twitter, Twitter was having a party yesterday, y'all. I'm going to show y'all this. And again, I'm working by myself because they all had to go to work because they lost half the day yesterday. And this was Twitter's tweet. Hello, literally everybody. Y'all, Twitter was rocking it out yesterday because everybody was headed towards Twitter. Everybody. But that's my platform. I'm on there. I have over 3,000 followers on Twitter, and it went up yesterday. People were on there, and I made a post, and I did hashtag October surprise. Like, this is the surprise for October, people. The other thing that I was saying, people, don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to business. People were talking about, like, startup companies, startup companies were talking about that they've done their startup through the Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. They said their business went dark. Their business went silent. They could not do anything. It is being said that people in startup had lost billions of dollars missing out on 5 hours of sale. And they're telling people, don't do that. This is the time now to diversify your platforms and what it is that you're doing. I want to see what some of you are saying. Take your power back. Yep, Pastor Annette. Same thing with Google. There's a ton of connected to them too. Yes, Kim Edmondson, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, Yvonne, Twitter was fire yesterday. Latrice Washington. Hi, Dr. Washington. She said, I was wondering why Twitter was on fire yesterday. Yep, y'all, there are multiple ways. People need to go back to sending postcards to addresses. Excuse me, allergies, y'all, allergies. But y'all, this is what was happening yesterday. Remember websites? I had a conversation with my team yesterday. They were like, you may need to now think about streaming through your website, because I own that. And so just look at ways, and WordPress is a great way to set up a platform that's yours when you're setting it up, using it through you. You got to think about different ways of doing it. Rosanna said, my network marketing advisor always said, have email lists. You should have an email list. And this is what I did yesterday as I was going through the news. I also was sending out through my email list information. I was going to Patreon, sending out information to the Patreon members. Y'all, you have to diversify. Nawana said, I told my team they need to have a way to capture customer information, so when this goes down, you can still do business. You're absolutely right. And that's your website, having an email list, y'all. That's how you do it. Miss Hagan, and I hear Hagan and Hogan, I think it's Hagan, is scheduled to testify in Congress today. Remember, she's the whistleblower that was on 60 Minutes that set all of this ablaze. Yeah. Yeah. And the story is still unfolding. This story is continuing to unfold. I don't think we'll ever get to the root of what really happened, but it's continuing to unfold. And so I want to just say hello Twitter, and the number one trending hashtag was Facebook down. That was and it's amazing how they get these things out there. But that was the number one trending. Now, some people were asking me, what do you look for when you go to Twitter? Excuse me. In the search bar, you want to put things in there like yesterday, social media. That was one of my go-tos. And when you put social media in the search bar, everything with social media comes up. Once you grab the hashtag such as Facebook down, you put that in the search bar, Facebook down, and everybody who's talking about Facebook down comes up. That gives you an opportunity to go through and scroll through and to read what is going on. Yeah, it was all the way live yesterday. But Twitter, and I gotta say this, Black Twitter is fire. Now, it's not a separate thing from Twitter, but Black Twitter, their investigative services are amazing. They're 1,000 down. Black Twitter is going to give you everything you need to know. They the ones that noticed Mark Zuckerberg wasn't speaking. They were like, where's Mark? So they were doing hashtag Kelly Price, hashtag Mark Zuckerberg. I was cracking up. And you just see all of this unfold. And then when his money started, when they started reporting his money, Black Twitter was giving you to the penny of how much he lost. And I'm like, how do they find this? I'm like, all right, Dorsey. And Dorsey owns Twitter. It's like, okay, Dorsey, are you paying Black Twitter? How is this working? Y'all, Black Twitter is fire. Now, for all of you who are TikTok people, this was revealed yesterday. TikTok has nothing on Twitter. Nothing on Twitter. And they were talking about that as well. TikTok, Snapchat, and others, they have nothing on Twitter. Nothing. And so people were also begging Dorsey, don't sell to Facebook. Just don't do that. So just, y'all diversify. That's one thing I can say. Again, the story is continuing to unfold. People ask, why didn't I come out and do some sort of breaking news? First of all, many of you don't even subscribe to the YouTube. And that would have been the platform that I would have used on yesterday, or in Clubhouse, which I'm still not familiar with Clubhouse. But the reason being, when a story continues to unfold, the breaking news would just been Facebook is down. But beyond that, there's nothing to say because you don't want to put things out there not knowing what's really going on. So, for example, let me give you some behind the scenes of News in Motion. When this went down, we learned of it. We were like, okay, so let's look at Facebook. We know that's technology. We know that's social media. So we went to, as the alerts were coming in, we went to Wired. We went to CNBC because CNBC is going to give us the money focus since it was a money piece in there. And then Wired was going to give us a technology. Then we went to TechSource, which also will give us technology. So we compared those. Then we went to Wall Street Journal. And we get all these alerts. So we're not looking at necessarily news articles. We're looking at what you call press alerts or press releases. So we're looking at all those and we're putting those things together. People learned yesterday, I'm a real news junkie, but it's really my job. So I can't say it's a news junkie. This is what I do. It's my passion and I love it. Yesterday's news set me ablaze. I was like, hey, let's go. What are we doing? I was on fire, knowing that I had this to look at and then reading and then look at people's speculations and how they connect the dots. What's the undercurrent? Now, all of a sudden, Congress and the White House spoke on it. Now, really trying to push for regulation. It's just everything is unfolding. So it leaves you, and I'm not going to go to the conspiracy side. I'm not going to give you false information, but it does lead you to think, okay, what's really going on behind the scenes here? The fact that we knew that they had an emergency board meeting, we know there's something else that's going on. Something else is going deeper. And they traced it to I think it was Santa Ana or somewhere in California. But they're like, is that really true? We don't know. So we are very careful to come out and do anything as breaking news. And if the story's still unfolding, because the story is still changing. Even this morning, y'all, this story is still changing and it's unfolding. But these are, before I go to our next headlines, a couple of things I want to leave with you. If you are a business owner, it's time for you to diversify. Don't have all of your stuff on one platform. It literally shut down. People lost billions with a B yesterday in startups and small businesses who only use Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp as their platform. Billions of dollars were lost in 5 hours or 6 hours. I think it ended up started come back on around 6 or whatever. That's number one. Number two, stop using Facebook as your login. Remember email. Because some of you were locked out of your thermostat and smart TVs because you use your platform through your apps through Facebook. Y'all go back to email. Seriously. Y'all don't forget the touch points of people. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. There's a whole lot we can learn right here. A whole lot we can learn. As this will continue to unfold, we will continue to share with all of you. All right, y'all, digital dollar. Talking about digital, now we got digital dollar. And if you ask me, I would say now is not the time. But Market Insider and Wall Street Journal, not Washington Post, Wall Street Journal is reporting the Federal Reserve plans as early as this week to launch a review of potential benefits and risk of issuing a U.S. digital currency. Now, y'all saw what happened with Facebook. Don't take our currency there. Central banks around the world have begun experimenting with blockchain technology more broadly as cryptocurrency gains popularity. The report is expected to be released next week, and Congress and the White House will determine if we're going to begin to move to digital currency. Yeah, that's in front of us, people. Yeah. So let me just throw y'all a softball just to say, hey, what's happening? Bubba Wallace becomes the second Black driver to win NASCAR Cup Series that at a rained out Talladega. I always say that word. My grandpa used to say it all the time, and he used to make us say it real fast, like a tongue twister. So now I'm just like jacked up with it. The first Black person was Wendell Scott from 1963. So you can go ahead and give a cheer, but please, y'all, don't completely think that everything's okay. This is what happened to us last year. COVID hospitalizations have dropped 12.7% compared to last week. So that is a celebration, but y'all keep wearing your mask, keep social distancing, keep washing your hands. And for those of you who still have questions about vaccines, check with your physician. In other news, what is up with Urban Meyer? Like, seriously, dude, seriously. You get to the NFL and you start tripping or what? Now, I want to say this to everybody, including me, all of us. Remember, your entire life can now be seen on video. So just think, people are doing that. That's what bloggers do. That's what gossip bloggers are doing. That's what digital marketing people are doing. They are at places that they know you, if they see something going down, boom, they're pulling out that camera. So, y'all, that's what's happening. That's just what's happening. So, Urban, you know what? I don't get it. All right, y'all, going into space. You know, I was never a Trekkie, but y'all, Captain Kirk. Yep, William Shatner. He is going to space next week on October the 12th. He's literally going to space. Jeff Bezos has always been a fan of Star Trek. So his space company, Blue Origin, announced on Monday that William Shatner, Captain Kirk, will blast off from West Texas on October the 12th. Y'all, he is 90 years old. Here's his direct quote. He says, "Yes, it's true. I'm going to be a rocket man." So that's where he's headed. And then he says, he also adds in his quote, "It's never too late to experience new things." So y'all, that's what's happening there. All right, Karen. Karen, I'm gonna need you to stop. Seriously. Now you're messing with the wrong person. Thank you to Hester Jackson for bringing this to my attention. Y'all, in the root.com is reporting that Katie Couric went after Denzel Washington. Karen, we don't do that. So now we have these women that are coming out, these Karens, talking about how they feel uncomfortable around Denzel. Now, y'all just need to go ahead and be truthful. It's not because he said anything to you that made your knees shake. Your knees shaking because you're looking at a beautiful Black man. He's just the teeth. He starts smiling. Seriously, talking about you ask questions, and he was like coming back. Those were dumb questions, Katie. Those were dumb questions, and he didn't have time for it, and he wasn't going to give you the time. And for you to come back and talk about something that happened in 2004 on yesterday, you have a problem. And you only did that on your podcast yesterday because Ellen Pompeo did it a week ago. So y'all just need to calm that down. Just stop. Just stop. Y'all not messing with Denzel. Y'all not messing with Denzel. Y'all go away now. Y'all go away. All right, y'all. Oh, yeah, there's a California oil spill. Yeah, y'all, that's what's happening. That's what's happening today. Let me see what some of y'all are saying. Captain Kirk says, I'm going to space for real. Nawana, he really is saying that. He's like, hey, I'm out of here. And I'm living to see it. Say what now? I don't know what you're saying, but yep, that's what they said. Beam him up, Captain. Yeah, girl, Denzel. Leaves Denzel alone. I'm with y'all there. Don't. John Gore said, and that's it, John Gore. Yes, it takes a lifetime to build your reputation, only a minute to tear it down. Be aware. Y'all, be aware. Be aware. And y'all know Denzel came out, I think it was about a month ago. He's been talking openly about his faith and him being a follower of Jesus. And it just makes you wonder if this is why this is coming out. They're trying to like make him not a good guy or something. I don't know. But they need to leave him alone. Karen, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. But y'all, seriously, and John, we were, I'm sure you were on here, we were talking when I was talking about Urban Meyer. Y'all, in a twinkling, in a minute, something can happen and that can just tear that down. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. All right, y'all. So I gave y'all a lot about Facebook. It's still rocky. They're saying it may take some time for it to be completely stable. So there's no telling what's going to happen. Kenya said the aunties are about to come out. Listen here. Don't mess. Yep. Urban Meyer. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, y'all. So this is where I want to go, and I have time to do this. With everything and like how people were talking about, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? When people were talking about they didn't know what they could do for 5 hours. If you don't know what you could do for 5 hours without being on social media, we need to talk. We honestly need to talk. If you do not know what you can do for 5 hours with 5 hours of your time, that was an opportunity to clean. That was an opportunity to get on the phone and call somebody and hear their voice and they can hear your voice. That was an opportunity for you to learn something new. Go Google, do some research, enjoy life, go take a walk. Go take pictures with your phone instead of scrolling through Facebook. And they were saying that people were losing it. People also when it comes to brands, and I want to be very careful how I say this, but I want to share this with you. When it comes to brands, make sure your brand is not just about you taking selfies and posting it in the clothes that you get from stores. I know that's a real thing. I know that's real. I know that's how some of you are making your money. I got it. But what are your other platforms in doing it? Could you have done a video and then sent the video to your like MailChimp or Constant Contact to your email list? Yeah, we have to find other ways. So I'm now into my my ministry emotion message. It's with Jesus that we should put our trust in our faith. It really is. Some of us have been putting our trust, maybe not faith, but our trust in this platform is going to work indefinitely for the rest of my life. And we learned yesterday it can come down in seconds and stay down for long periods of time. It can stay down. So find other avenues. Don't be afraid to get out here. Y'all never put so many, and again, I'll use what I said on Twitter, never have so many eggs in one basket. Now, let me say this, and I shared this already with my daughter and the team. There's an opportunity right now for people to write curriculum for learning how to do other platforms and charge people, because people were lost on Twitter yesterday. Like, okay, I'm here. What do I do? Now, you don't know what to do on Twitter. There's a problem. Y'all, Twitter is the bomb. Y'all, I talk about it on my regular Facebook page. Twitter is all that and a bag of chips. You just have to know how to use it. Again, go to the search and put in keywords and find out what people are talking about. Dr. Washington says, I don't even have all my money in one bank. Great point. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't diversify, and not only diversify. And I know we do stuff online now, but there's still something about having a relationship with somebody. Hello, somebody. Where I can go into Huntington Bank here in Central Ohio to the one I go to all the time, and I can address 3 people by name. And when I come in the door, they call my name. That's a relationship. They know who I am. They know me. They know who I am. I can go to Heartland Bank. That's a small bank here in Central Ohio. I know everybody there, and they all call me by my name. Y'all, that's a relationship. These are things that we should start thinking about because we are so tied into these platforms, and we saw what happened on yesterday. We saw what happened on yesterday. So relationships are important. All right, y'all, that's all I have today. I have a great guest coming with me tomorrow that's going to talk about breast cancer awareness, because it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For those of you, we had plans to connect people through our instant messenger yesterday to connect with Nawana Turner. Nawana, again, I say thank you. I am so grateful that you shared. Hester said something yesterday in my inbox message as well. And she said that News in Motion was like a true family yesterday. She said she saw the family. She saw the connection. People were being vulnerable in the chat. People were encouraging Nawana. People were being very vulnerable and sharing some of their deepest hurts and wounds and pains. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, but we don't want to leave you out there. Because things went down yesterday, we weren't able to put down how to contact Nawana. So if you are in our inbox messenger, we won't put it on the main page. But if you send us a message, we will give you her contact and we will tell you how to word it to keep you safe. Everyone, for those of you who prayed for the young lady, and she's a young lady who has a 3-month-old who is petrified. She has not left the house. She is being abused. She has not left the house, but I did make contact and I stayed on the phone while we contacted the National Domestic Violence Center. So when they came on, they were able to drop me. So I did not hear the conversation, but I have not heard from her. So thank you and continue to pray. There are many others who has reached out to say that's their story, Nawana. So again, thank you for being vulnerable on yesterday and sharing your story. Tomorrow we will hear about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And just for some of you who said I was spent. Some of you don't know how to do this, so I'm going to take this time to share this with you as well. This is streamed through what you call StreamYard. You can send messages. Now, understand when you send messages, I have a team of 5. So one of those 5 will grab those private messages and then they send the private message through a private portal here on StreamYard. So if y'all saw me looking off to the side, I was reading tons of private messages, tons. And I literally didn't think I could stay in this chair. I was like, I'm just getting ready to bawl, I'm getting ready to pass out, I'm getting ready to scream, cry, run, do something. I was seeing all of those situations in the screen. So all you have to do if you want to ever send a private message is to go into the News in Motion message from whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook. It will say News in Motion. You type it in there. It'll give you an option to say anonymous. If you check anonymous, we won't know your name. It's really self-explanatory when you do that. Then you can send us a private message there, and we won't share your story. Now, we will connect you with Nawana, but we will not share your story. And there's going to be a whole month of different things like this. So I just hope I can handle it because it was tough yesterday. It was tough. It took me a while to get myself together. It was tough. But thank you all for praying. So hopefully the young lady with the 3-month-old, hopefully she's to safety at this point. But just hearing a part of her story, I was extremely concerned. Was extremely concerned for many people. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. This has been your News in Motion, and I was by myself today. So hopefully all these things came up good. If not, I apologize. No, I'm not going to apologize. It is what it is, and I will see y'all tomorrow.